I'm off to see Dr. Richard Chambers, who's a clinical psychologist, but also an expert in mindfulness. He's going to teach me how to meditate, apparently.
Mindfulness is a type of meditation where we focus our attention on the present moment, on the body, the breath, that kind of thing.
Mindfulness meditation is the most well-researched type of meditation.
And just taking a few moments to check in and just notice the state that your body's in, checking in with the mind.
Some scientists say it can boost physical and mental health and improve cognitive abilities.
And when the mind inevitably wanders, just noticing that and see if you can bring it back gently without any further thinking. Most of us focus our attention on daydreams and distraction and rumination and worry and a whole bunch of stuff. If we can train ourselves, and we can actually build a mindful muscle to train ourselves to be focused and present. Just enjoy the moment more.
Key to building this so-called mindful muscle is strengthening the prefrontal cortex. If the brain were an orchestra, the prefrontal cortex is like the conductor.
When we notice our attention's wandered and we bring it back to the present moment, we activate the prefrontal cortex. It's forming new synapses, new connections, and getting thicker and stronger, kind of like a muscle.
And will I feel a greater sense of well-being or more relaxed, or?
Why don't we wait and see what happens for you? I mean, I'm going to predict yes, but one of the best ways to learn mindfulness is through the doing.
Grey matter is the darker tissue of the brain, where most of the nerve cell bodies are. The Harvard research found that grey matter increased in key areas such as the hippocampus, prefrontal cortex, and temporoparietal junction.
And these are parts of the brain that help us to remember, to focus, to learn, to inhibit impulses and regulate our emotions. If we sat there daydreaming for 20 minutes, we'd be strengthening a different part or different parts of the brain. And we get to choose what we want to strengthen. We've got a use it or lose it brain.
Now, it is early days for a lot of this research, but the possibility of meditation changing the structure of my brain certainly sounds exciting. I have to wait 8 weeks to find out my results. I'd better start meditating.
The data shows that that reduces depressive symptoms, but the big finding is that it halves the rate of depressive relapse. For people who've had 3 or more depressive episodes, if they learn mindfulness as part of their treatment, they're half as likely to get depressed again down the track.
Indeed, for some, meditation could be an alternative to their medication.
A paper that came out last year, a meta-analysis, has found that it's as effective as antidepressants for preventing relapse, which is a pretty significant finding.
Dr. Richard Chambers believes mindfulness meditation works because it breaks the cycle of depressive thoughts.
Depressive thoughts that maybe go through people's minds that they don't normally notice, they're just running in the background like an app and reducing people's mood. So mindfulness helps them to notice that and then just to recognise it as a thought rather than taking it seriously, believing it, trying to push it away, which then gets the attention very much caught up in that kind of rumination. Just noticing it, let it go, bring the attention back to the present.